So good morning, friends. Happy August 7th. Hopefully you're having joy, purpose, and passion wherever you are in the world. I'm seeing lots of familiar names in here. Dear friends and rock stars here in doTERRA. So fun to, so fun to connect. So by way of announcement, I just wanted to get a couple of announcements out today. So if you go to sharesuccess.com/convention, you'll be able to see all the events that we've got coming up around convention. So convention is just weeks away. So I think we're about 5 weeks out, if I'm not mistaken. So just in case you missed it, that link was sharesuccess.com/convention. And here are the main events. So we've got a leader-led business training. So we were just chatting yesterday with a couple of those top leaders who are coming together. Laura Jacobs is one of them. I think Rod Richardson, Seth Rizame, I think Melina Harrison, and Molly Dayton will be participating. So it'll be from 1 to 9 on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we've got the Essential Emotions training from 9 to 1. doTERRA is putting on an Essential Oil Symposium. And so that's if you want to go really deep with the oils. It's pretty much all science. And then we've got convention Thursday, Friday, and then we've got whatever team you're on. Most of them have a party on Friday night. We'll be doing an open house at our home, and then we've got a tour of kind of historic downtown Salt Lake. We meet at Temple Square and just do a little walk around. We also get to experience the choir at Temple Square, which is, they used to be known as the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. I think it's one of the highlights of my week. That's just such an amazing feeling that you get to feel listening to that choir. And that's totally free. Any and all are welcome. So everything is a link, so you can just click on those and get signed up for whatever speaks to you and your soul. So the EO training, Elaine is asking, is it open for virtual? I doubt it. Knowing doTERRA, I'm guessing there's going to be some. Anyways, I don't know. That's a doTERRA event, and I highly doubt they're going to stream that. So, and also we've got Experience doTERRA coming up. So, really cool news there. We're actually taking it on the road. We've had a couple leaders who have wanted to duplicate it in other areas around the country. And so they've got 2 coming up in Texas and 1 in Minnesota. So the next one here in Utah is August 23rd, 24th. So it's a great chance to revitalize any members of your team or inspire. Maybe you've got a customer on your team who's open to sharing and doing business. Great chance to bring them and just get a taste, kick the tires for what doTERRA is all about. It's really targeted at people who are interested in who might be open to doing the business. So that could be new prospects. It could be any number of people, right? Sharers, team members. That is Experience doTERRA. So, and I believe that the one in Texas, in the Dallas area, is this weekend, this Saturday. So, Arlington, Texas, August 10th. They still have space, so jump in and get your people there, get yourself there. It's going to be a great event. Okay, will the leader-led training on Tuesday be available to watch the replay? We don't know for sure. We're still in the planning stages. It's always so much better to be there in person. So yeah, that's our core audience is the live audience. So okay, I'm trying to think if there are any other announcements. Yeah, it's a new month, new limitless possibility, right? So while I'm sharing a couple thoughts, I'd love for you to put in the chat what topics would you like to hear about at the leader-led training? Like what mastermind topics, what topics from stage, what are the needs? Obviously, we'll be talking about what's working. So we'll have leaders who have recently rank advanced speaking to what exactly they're doing, how they're doing it. So we'll be covering that, but what else would be valuable to you to address at the leader-led training? So go ahead and put that in the chat, or you can raise your hand. We can bring you on live and talk about it. Yeah, that's still one of our favorite things is to come together, just a meeting of the minds, where two or three are gathered and have a common purpose. The magic happens. So that's going to be fun. Okay. Just checking Facebook to see if there's any questions or comments there. Okay, it doesn't look like there are. Oh, Carmen's asking where in Texas. If you go to experiencedotera.com, you can see, scroll down to the dates, and under the Utah dates, you'll see a link to the Texas and Minnesota. So I know that one is in Arlington and the other one is in Austin, the one in March of next year. So lots of options. So fun to see when something is working. So fun to watch it duplicate and take on a life of its own. Okay, get some great comments here. Terry wants to hear about strategies on converting customers or users into builders. And Helen is saying reactivating inactive customers / advocates. Great, love that. Okay. So today I just want to talk about the power of intention. So when we get clear on our vision, when we get clear on what it is we want, then there is so much power that comes from that clarity, from just having pure intention. And so a lot of times when we want to be successful in something, we put so much of our focus on the mechanics, right? How do we get it done? How do you build a doTERRA business? What are these steps that you take, the words that you use, the classes that you teach? Like, what are the nuts and bolts of what we do to make something happen? But I want to ask you, if you had to choose, if you had to break up success into intention and mechanics, what percentage of success would you say is intention and what percentage is mechanics? Just go ahead and put in the chat what your thoughts are. Is it 50-50? Is it 60-40? What are your thoughts? Intention versus mechanics. Okay, we've got some people guessing 50-50, 90-10, 80-20, 70-30. Yes. Okay, so I think you're getting the vibe. What I propose to you today is that it's 100% intention and 0% mechanics. And I want to tell a couple stories to illustrate this. So there was one of my mentors and coaches, Brett Harward, He was driving on the freeway, and he was with a business partner, and they saw somebody walking backwards on the side of the freeway. And they're like, did you just see that? That was kind of weird. And so they flipped their car, they took the next exit, came back, got back on, and they pulled over and said, hey, what's going on? Like, what are we doing here? And this guy said, oh, I want to break the Guinness World Record for walking coast to coast across America backwards. It's been done, but I think the last person did it in, I don't know, 80 days, and I'm sure I can do it in less than that. So Brett was like, can we take you to lunch? Like, this is really fascinating to me. And so they did. And they said, you must have a great stream of income, or you must be like set up financially to be able to just take 2-3 months and just, knock out a Guinness World Record. And he was like, yeah, no, I don't own anything. Literally what you see on my body right now, the clothes on my back, the shoes on my feet, that's what I own. And they're like, so how did you have the confidence to set out? I think you started in somewhere back east. And how did you have the confidence to make it all the way out to, California, Washington, whatever? And he was like, well, I just had the intention. I was super clear. And I've broken other Guinness World Records. And so I was like, I know I can do this, and I'm just going to set out and do it. And they were like, yeah, but how did you get you need food to live. You need places to stay. You need, he was like, yeah, I had some crummy shoes. And so I just started walking around asking people, hey, anybody have any extra shoes they're not using? And he had 2 or 3 people donate shoes to him. He said the whole way he just asks people, can I sleep in your garage tonight? Can I, do you have any spare food? And he literally, I think he started out with $20 in his pocket, and he did it. He set that Guinness World Record, and did it 100% intention, 0% mechanics. He didn't need a manual. He didn't need a mentor. He didn't need someone telling him, this is how you do it. He just said, I am clear. This is what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it. So that's one of my favorite examples. There's another one. I was reading a news article about somebody who had survived a parachute jump, and their parachute hadn't opened. And I was blown away as I was reading this, because as I did a little more research, this is actually not that uncommon. It doesn't happen, every day, but there are dozens of cases of people who have survived, and there's lots of damage, right? But they have survived a fall from an airplane without a parachute. And so as I was reading this article, this guy, he realizes that the parachute's not working. He's tried everything. It's not working. So he looks down at the ground, and he realizes, okay, there's a lot of desert over here. There's one little green patch. And so I'm going to steer my body towards that green patch, because you get trained on how to steer, how to angle your body so you can kind of steer. And then he said, I'm just gonna, go in at this angle that apparently is gives you your best chance of survival. And he ended up landing in a swampy area, and he was in mud up to here, and he broke lots of bones in his body, but he survived. Like, he lived to tell. And there are lots of people who do that. So again, it came back to intention. My intention is to survive. My intention is to live. So I'm setting that intention, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make that happen. So I say all that knowing that it kind of de-edifies all the events that I just promoted, because a lot of those is going to be mechanics, but there's also going to be sections on mindset. And so that's where the power is when we get clear, when we have that mindset of I know what I want, I have a vision, I'm moving towards that, and I'm just going to start moving my feet. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm just going to start walking, start talking, start doing anything and everything in my power to move towards that intention, that vision. So doTERRA is such a fantastic playground to create whatever it is that you want, whether it's better health, whether it's financial freedom, whether it's leadership and expanding yourself as a person. I haven't found a better playground to experiment with creation. Like, you really get to be any kind of creator that you want, and doTERRA gives you really good feedback, right? Like, you get to see in real time, how am I doing at creating? Now, if you're not hitting the goals that you want, does that mean you're not a great creator? No, it means you're learning, right? Like, you're in process. And so just like a child learning to walk, we get to give ourselves lots of grace and space as we practice, right? I love that word practice. When we do yoga, it's a practice. When we do any kind of sport, it's practice. And so creation is no different. It's just a new space to learn how to create. So 100% intention, 0% mechanics. That's my thought for the day. So let's go ahead and open it up for questions. If you'll go ahead and raise your hand, then I'll bring you on live, and you can ask any question that you've got, any conversation around your goals, your mindset, just kind of whatever's coming up for you today. So I am here to serve. Elaine's got her hand raised, so if she wants to come on, she can. But if anybody else, she raised it quite a while ago, so I don't know. I think that was in response to a question I asked earlier. So go ahead and raise your hand. I see Chelsea on here. So while we're waiting for the first person to raise their hand, I do want to go ahead and just talk about the challenge that we're doing. It's called Uplevel 21, and it's basically a health challenge for you and your team to be able to just set yourself up for success, right? Just create a start and a finish time so that you can move towards whatever your health goals are. They use 6 or 7 basic health habits, taking your supplements, doing certain things to get in that zone and start creating habits. So it's going to be fun. All right, we have someone who raised their hand and has joined us as a panelist. So if you want to unmute yourself, we can bring you into the conversation.
Hello, friend.
Hi, how are you?
I am so good. How are you?
Awesome.
Okay, Mom, I'll be right there. So thank you for bringing me on. And so in a nutshell, I went through the Silver Club. My goal was to finish in the top 100. I know that sounds like a low bar, but for me, it was a high bar. And I did. I finished 81st.
Wow. Congratulations.
So thank you. Thank you, Sam. So God's been tugging. So my doTERRA business honestly has been on hold for a while. And that was intentional, out of a place of obedience, because so many other things going on in my world that are a priority, right? So one thing after another is resolving, and the little fires, the big fires around me have been resolved, and God's really been putting on my heart, tugging on my strings to do Diamond Club. I did Diamond Club, and then the crazy Rona started in 2020. So part of me has like this aversion to even thinking about it. And I did finish, but it was really hard. Anyway, long story short, I had a conversation. I was chatting with Lil yesterday, and I just heard from my third mentor, and I'm going to do Diamond Club. I'm going to do it absolutely, totally afraid. I'm admitting then I'm afraid. I don't like to fail. I don't like to start something that I am not sure I can do well with. But again, out of a place of obedience, and there are so many people that need what we have. We just came from a
Mhm.
dermatology appointment for my mom. She's 87 and stroked recently, and the dermatologist can't not, like, every doctor here in Florida that we're establishing this new patient relationship for my mom cannot believe my mom's numbers. They said she has
Mhm.
the blood work profile of a 16-year-old girl.
Wow.
Even though she's got skin stuff, they're all no biggies. We're using the frankincense
Wow.
and anyway, long story short, so many people are amazed at what we know. And I think for a long time, I got so tired of getting kicked in the stomach, sort of, by my loved ones and my warm market, that I backed off. And I just, if a word of encouragement to anybody else that's maybe in my place, I just feel like, who am I to not do more? So my question to you is, a lot of it is me. I have a few people that say, yeah, I would like to learn about the business, but because I haven't been super successful financially in this business, because of all the other things going on in my world and all the other hats that I wear successfully, I think that's kind of why I'm hesitant to train other people with the business model.
Hmm.
So my question is, when it comes to Diamond Club, right? You need a team. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to do alone. So should I pick like one group and just like really hop in there? Like, I love doctors Ruth and
Mhm.
Andrew.
Yeah.
I love you guys. I love you know Dr. Wong's. And anyway, my point is how to even start. Get the business building guides and start doing workshops in my little group and just plant the seeds and wait, or what?
Yeah. So when you say with your little group, first of all, congratulations on all the successes, right? Like that is worthy of pausing and just shouting hooray. So great job on Silver Club. Great job on sticking with all the
Thank
opposition, like that's that's worthy.
thank you. Thank you. I will celebrate and receive that congratulatory note because that's hard for me.
So when you say your little group, who do you mean by that?
Well, I don't have other active builders.
Right.
I have some people that share, but it's mostly me.
Yeah.
And you can only get to a certain level, and then I do a lot of one-on-ones, and you can only do that to a certain point,
Hmm.
right? I do realize that I need policies and I need procedures and programs in place so that I can be duplicatable, and I think that's been my block.
Hmm.
People look at me and they say, well, I'm not a chiropractor, I'm not a this, I'm not a that, I can't do what you can do, but I'll tell people about it.
Hmm.
I've even had people tell me, don't talk like you're a doctor, make it simple and sweet, and then people will want to do
Hmm.
more. Like, I've gotten so much conflicting information that I've kind of shut it all off. That makes sense?
Sure. Totally. Yeah. So lots of questions there. Let's start with building a team that wants to run with you. Okay.
Yes.
So as you've noted, to be really successful at Diamond Club, it takes a team. Nobody does it alone. So so who would be willing to run with you? Like
Okay.
who has the desire, has the hunger? Um, that's the first question, right?
Okay.
So you could start by gathering your existing team, which it sounds like is mostly customers. Um, but honestly, what Natalie and I have found works best is just focusing on a list of names. Like start with your team members, start with, you could have one list of team members, one list of prospects, and just saying, who needs this business right now? Who
Okay.
is hungry, who is driven, and really focus on being intentional, as we've been talking about,
Mhm.
with who you approach, right? The shotgun approach does work, but I haven't found anything that works as well as a targeted approach. So now that I get clear, with our list, and then we just start contacting them one by one. And
Okay.
nothing has worked as well as just taking time, catching up, getting really deeply connected, and then just asking really powerful questions, right? So tell me more about some of your dreams. So tell me about your big goals. Like what do you want to create? And we have a dear friend who's in the process of leaving this planet, and so it's really top of mind for me. Like, as this is happening, to say, what do I want my life to mean? And so it's a great time to reflect that to other people. Like what do you want your life to stand for? And what's the purpose? What's the just cause, as Simon Sinek calls it. So yeah, and then again, just staying really, really neutral and curious, like what would it look like for us to build something really meaningful together? What if we were to join together and really make a difference? And you spoke to it already. Like you know the power of what it is that we have. You've felt it, you've seen it, like you're living it.
Yeah.
So just sharing that energy, that vision, that passion with whoever it is that you're meeting with, and then making the invitation. Like, hey, I'm about to go on this like short sprint that they call Diamond Club, and it's I mean it's a sprint, but it's also a marathon, right? Like it's a little bit of both. So just sharing your excitement, your energy, and like, who do you want to run with me? I've got space for one or two partners that I can really pour into, and that we can really affect some change together. So that's what I would do. Um, and so that's the first question, right? How do I find people to run with? And then in terms of the mechanics, like it really just comes down to meeting them where they are. I've been so blown away. I saw Chelsea's name on this list. It's been so fun to watch how she's built her doTERRA team, because it's like nobody that I've ever seen before. Like, she gathered one time, there was a season where she invited moms to come together and make freezer meals together. And so they all pitched in some money. She went and bought all the ingredients, and they just walked around our kitchen island and just made, different recipes so that they could tell their husbands, hey, I'm going to make some freezer meals with some other moms. And then at the end, she taught a, 20-30 minute class. And that's just one of the ways. She's also done these charity events, and it's so fun to see creativity meet intention. Like it doesn't matter how everybody else has done it. When you're clear, you just start moving. And that's what Chelsea's doing with the
Okay.
challenges too, right? She's taking, so anyways, the point is, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to do Diamond Club. I would just get clear on who could be your partners, make clear invitations after you deeply connect, and then start walking.
That's awesome. I love that. Clear intentions, deeply connect, make the invitation, and start going.
Yeah. Yeah. They might want to do, these webinars like you've seen. You mentioned some of the medical professionals who are rocking it in doTERRA. They might want to do something similar. But you also mentioned something while you were talking about, because you're a chiropractor, people look to you and they see your expertise and they say, I don't see myself in that, right? I'm not the medical expert that you are, and so I couldn't do what you do. And here's what Laura Jacobs learned, because she came from a health coaching background. She's this health expert. And so she would teach a class and people's minds are blown and they're like, well, I could never do that. And so here's what she learned in that process. Do what you do best, but teach what duplicates. So you shine at whatever your strengths are, right? If for Laura, it's the complex health, like deep dive on product and body systems and how it all works together. That's her gift. And so she's doing what she does best, but that's not what she teaches her team to do, because they need to be able to say, you know what, I could do this business. And so she teaches from our good friend, the business building guide, and that's what duplicates. And so do what works, teach what duplicates.
Thank you. I love Laura Jacobs as well. She's an amazing person, a great leader.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I am grateful.
Well, we are cheering for you, friend.
Thank you.
I also encourage you, especially if you're doing Diamond Club, to find a workout partner, as we call them, right? Like an accountability partner that you can, someone who's really going to hold your feet to the fire and hold space for you, and you can hold space for them as you run together. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us, Christine.
Thank you very much, Andy. Have a blessed day. Look for you at convention.
Okay,
Yay.
we're excited. Take care. So fun.
Thank you for your kind comments, everybody.
I saw some other comments that I'm so resonating with you. So, when we're not finding success, it can be hard, it can be stretching. It's hard to bring people in when you're feeling so stretched, right? Like you're not having the energy of success. How can I share? How can I inspire success if that's not what I'm experiencing? So that's the power of vision, right? Vision is contagious. Energy is contagious. If we can bring the positivity and share a world that we see before it's actually real, then people get on board and they join us. So it's really, really exciting. And that's who doTERRA attracts, is the visionaries who are able and willing to change the world, even if it's hard, even if it's not instant gratification. Dave Sterling is such a wise man. And one of the principles that he has taught us personally and his children is delayed gratification. He uses that term all the time. And it's such a non-sexy principle to teach, right? Like, so many mentors out there will teach you how to get rich quick. But meanwhile, Dave's just chilling back here, teaching us how to delay gratification. And it reminds me of our early days when Natalie was building. I was super skeptical about the whole comp plan. And so, she's putting in 20, 30 hours a week. She's making like $200 a month. And I'm like, Greg. So we sat down with Greg Cook and I told him, your product is great. We love the product, but your comp plan stinks. And he was like, he smiled and he nodded. And he's like, just be patient, Andy. This is not a get rich quick. Okay. It's a backloaded comp plan by design. We designed it to reward those who have vision, who stick with it, who are willing to carry the weight of delayed gratification. And that's what we see. Those who are willing to hone that skill and postpone, the pill popping knee-jerk reaction, right? That's kind of the world we live in now, is if I can't fix this with a pill and see results in minutes, then I don't want it. So we have something much better to offer the world. So yes, I'm getting an amen from Becky. Awesome. So many good comments. Love it. Yeah, go read the chat if you haven't already. Some very encouraging comments. Okay, who else can we serve today? Raise your hand and we can bring you on live. Here to serve. So whatever it is you're working through, all comes back to vision. What's funny is those with vision are entrepreneurs, and those who are not are employees, and they work for those with vision. Have you noticed that? So the dreamers, the Elon Musks of the world, who have a vision of a better world, they're the ones out there creating thousands and tens of thousands of jobs, and there's no shame in working for someone else's vision. But I personally love the process of casting my own vision and being the dreamer that creates a new reality, creates a world that doesn't exist right now. Okay, Christina, it looks like, is ready to ask a question. So it'll ask you if you want to rejoin as a panelist, if you just want to accept that.
Unmute. Hi.
Hi, friend. Welcome.
Thank you for bringing me on. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure.
Yes, this is so exciting. So you sort of touched on this before, and the lovely woman who was on before kind of spoke out my heart. But I just wanted to ask, so I'm actually have not reached elite yet, and I've been doing this on and off for 2 years, and I just love it, doTERRA, and I'm in for the long run. My husband's totally supportive, which is great. So I'm at a point where I have a lot of customers. Well, to me, it's a lot. I have a lot of customers, and if half of them were on LRP, I'd be probably, I don't know, past elite, but they're not. So I've decided right now to focus on two things. One, continuing education, because I'm learning. I just did the 8 weeks to elite program, and focus on that, continuing education, so that they could be more inspired to, get on LRP and use the products. And also, I just want to kind of downright buckle down and find builders. So I asked the question, is it premature to just go for the builder route when I don't have the, like she was mentioning, the financial success or admittedly, the confidence? And it's funny thing is I'm a confident person. I love people, and I do a lot of things successfully that people look to me for. And this is the one thing that's stretching me, and I love it. It's so humbling, which is why I'm sticking around, because it really is stretching me.
Sure.
But I don't have that confidence to be like, yes, follow me. We're doing this. Let's do this together. So those are two things. I'm focused. Is that a good route? Like continuing education for my customers. I can't forget about them, but also I just want some builders. My mentors always said, we say, reach elite with 2 strong feet. So I need some feet.
I love that. That's a great phrase.
Yeah. Meaning, potential builders.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's never anything wrong with building retention, right? I mean, that's the whole design of Power of Three is it's rewarding you for building loyal customers. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I would just say, does it have to be an either or? Because finding builders will just it amplifies everything that you do. Running with business partners just adds fuel to whatever your vision is. It makes the vision bigger. It makes the results bigger. You can go so much further. So the funny thing is, if you want to reach a lot of customers, find more builders. Like that's the magic of this business. And so you said that you have confidence, but you struggle with the confidence to invite people to join this with you. So when you find a new restaurant, do you have any problems? Oh, looks like we lost her. So I'll just speak as if she were still here. So let's say you have, you and your husband just found a great new restaurant in town, and you're loving it. You've been there a couple times. Do you have any problem sharing about this new restaurant with your neighbor, with your friends? Probably not, right? Let's say you've watched a new movie and it was life-changing for you, and you want to share it. Do you struggle sharing about that new movie with or TV series with friends, making a post about it? Of course not, right? Like, these are not scary things. And so doTERRA is no different. You've found something new. You found solutions to problems. You found a way to create a business that makes impact. And so is there, why would there be hesitancy about sharing that? Just bring the same energy that you share a restaurant or a movie. Just bring that same energy to the invitation to build and watch the magic happen. Like, it doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be hard. It's only as hard as you make it in your mind. So just make it easy. Make it hey, this is so great, and this is what I love about it. Maybe it's the impact side, maybe it's the healing hands, maybe it's both, maybe it's the just straight up income. Like, hey, I'm kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired, so I'm going to change that. And here's the tool that I'm using. Here's the vehicle that I'm going to be running with. You with me? It could really be that simple. It doesn't have to be a complex word track. If you do like word tracks, there are lots of word tracks in the business building guide. That's a free download from doTERRA's Empowered Success website. So, looks like we got her back. Okay, so we lost you for a minute. I don't know if you heard anything that I shared. Yay, nay?
Yeah, I have a funny situation here with my headphones. I'm so sorry. The phone died. I'm really sorry.
You're totally fine.
Yeah, I heard up to I don't know, 2 minutes ago, 1 minute ago.
Okay. Yeah. So just the idea is, don't make it hard in your mind. Like, don't make it this big scary thing to invite someone to build with you. Like, it can be as simple as sharing the newest restaurant that you found and love. Sharing the latest movie or TV series that you found and love. Just make it that kind of a sharing. Like,
Right.
This is what I love. This is why I love it. Do you want to come love it with me?
So the focused recruiting is what you said you and Natalie have had the most success in,
Yep.
rather than the whole organic growing up from a customer, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what my husband because he has 25 years sales experience. And so he's really a helpful coach to me. But the same token, he's my biggest critic, because that's just what we naturally
Sure.
are. So that's what he's been saying. He's saying, let's take these people out to dinner. And he's big on making big investments. And I'm more like, I'm not even elite yet. How are we going to invest so much now? But he's just that I'm the conservative one. He's but yeah, that's because he's listening. I told him what you just said in the 2 seconds that I got recorded. He's like, yes, that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So people that aren't yet elite still go out and recruit builders?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. All day, every day.
Yeah.
Just I don't know if you saw mine and Natalie's presentation from leadership, but let me share my screen here real quick. And but we spoke about this very topic. So can you see my screen? Oh shoot. It just skipped back to the beginning. I clicked the wrong thing. Okay. So Natalie and I actually went through our front line, and these are all of our qualifying builders. And we decided to say, okay, how did we actually find these people? Was it through our own network, or was it through networking? Was it our immediate circle, or did we have to do some networking? And here's what we found. only those here in yellow were our own contacts. All the rest were found through networking. So that was kind of interesting. So 38% were own contacts. But then we said, how many of them did we talk to about the business? And that's who's in green. We used a business approach to talk to them. And so each of these was a sit down, one-on-one, here's what we see as the business opportunity. Do you want to come with us and build? Those in blue, we approached about the product. And so they started out as product users and then became builders. And so that was the customer to business journey. And then the one in pink, they were interested in having impact more than they were the product or the business. And so they wanted to make a difference in the world, change the world through healing hands, etc. So that's kind of a breakdown of the approaches that we used and the methods, which network they were in. Were they in our contacts, or did we have to find them through networking? So to speak to, and somebody actually said this in the comments, it's possible that as you're doing, building retention on your team, getting more customers on loyalty rewards, maybe you're doing membership overviews, the wellness consults with these existing members. That's a great time to talk to them about, their world. Tell me about your dreams, your visions, and it might come up during that conversation that there's some financial pain or, the recession, the cost of inflation, all of those are great entry points to bring up the business,
Right.
So building retention could be a journey to invite people to build, and it should be,
Right.
always be inviting, right? That's the mantra that Natalie and I use. Your job is not to be attached to the outcome. You're just always inviting people to try the products, to learn more, to sign up, to become a daily user of the product, and then invite to build. So all those invitations, we're just always throwing those out there.
Thank you so much. That's what I was wondering, if it was too ambitious to recruit
Never.
builders actively when I'm not. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm sorry about the disconnection and technical
No worries.
faux pas. Thank you.
So good to connect. Thanks for joining us,
Thanks.
Christina.
Yes, thank you. This is an honor.
Okay, that was a great conversation. Such a good question. Okay, I saw some questions come through. Becky, we were talking earlier about vision, and Becky says, what if your strengths aren't in vision and you're in doTERRA instead of being an employee? Okay, so my question for you, Becky, would be, what is it about doTERRA that makes you want to do that instead of being an employee? Obviously, there's something here that has sparked your imagination, put fuel under you, under your fire to want to join and do something different. So, you say that your strengths aren't in vision, but clearly there's something about the vision of doTERRA that speaks to you. And I would just fan that flame. I would just focus in on what vision you do have, right? Like maybe you're not an Elon Musk. Is there still room in the world for more entrepreneurs than Elon Musk? Absolutely, right? How many space companies are there just because Elon has stepped in and done what he's done? There's probably 6 or 7 that didn't even exist, and a lot of them came from SpaceX. It's so cool what happens when someone chooses to lean into whatever vision they do have. So Jean asks, would you recommend the leader-led business training or the Essential Oil and Symposium before convention? So they're not an either or. The leader-led business training is Tuesday, and the oil symposium is Wednesday. So you don't have to choose between the two. Obviously, both have value. Business training is going to be just that, right? It's going to be a lot of mindset and masterminding on how to do the business. And Oil Symposium is a deep dive on science. So really just whatever speaks to you. Okay, lots of great comments coming in. Layla says, do any of the builders just go for it for the money before they've used the products fully? So yes, like there are so many people, like to go back to my chart, let's see if it'll let me go back. Oh, heck. Okay, so when Rich and Amy Fulmer signed up and decided to build, they did not have a life-changing experience with lifelong vitality. In fact, they were really hesitant about promoting it, even using it. They were like, not so sure. And so not a deep product experience there, but guess which of our teams has the highest retention and the highest use of lifelong vitality now? It's the Fulmer team. It's off the charts. And same thing with Victoria. She wasn't, well, I guess she had a product experience, so that's a bad example. Matt and Shantae, they joined us first for the business. Almost all of these leaders, everyone in green, it started with a business conversation, and then they fell in love with the product. So, Elise Chedevy will tell you all day long that she joined for the business and she sticks around for the business. And so for some product purists, that really rubs them the wrong way. But the fact is, the business is every bit as powerful an offering as the product. And so that's something we should never be ashamed of and never shy away from. We have such a gift that we can offer people. I love how in Brazil, we have literally tens of thousands of people who have been pulled out of poverty because of our business opportunity, right? It's like, why would we shy away from that? So absolutely, people can go for it in the business with or without a product experience. We often talk about this journey of falling over the product first. It doesn't have to be that way. There are a million roads to nirvana or to heaven, as we say. Yes. So Amy's been on, and she's done great work. I would say the same thing is true of Lindsay Norman, who's now Diamond and Founder 2.0. She's on Amy Fulmer's front line. She's been on with us and told her story. She joined for the business. It wasn't until later that the product really came to life for her. So absolutely, you can lead with the business. Awesome. Elaine says, how do you explain to someone who doesn't like being in an MLM company? Great question. So for these people, I like to say, what is it about, MLM that you don't like? Is it a personal experience that you've had? Is it a story that you've heard? What is it about MLM that you don't like? And then just be curious, be neutral. And you'll probably learn that they have an aunt or a parent who tried an MLM and it didn't work. And so maybe they don't trust, they don't think anyone can be successful. And so getting curious will help guide you to the answer. So I always love to tell people a story about when the founders of doTERRA came together and decided, we have a viable product that could make a really powerful company. They had the choice. They said we could go a traditional route. We could, supply these through Amazon, through Walmart, through health food stores, and the product will sit on the shelf, and we'll have to pay a lot of money to advertising and marketing to get people to go into those stores and buy the products, right? That's one route they could have chosen. Just traditional, where you pay 30 to 50% in advertising and marketing to get people to try and buy your product. But they knew that our product is experiential. And so they knew that if the business was going to work, someone had to be the voice for the oils. Someone had to go out and put them on people's hands and talk and connect to people and share them. And so that's why they chose the network marketing model, is because the oils need to be experienced. Even the supplements, right? They need someone to kind of be the voice and say, this is what they've done for me. This is what they could do for you. Will you give them a try? So that's the model they chose. And I'm forever grateful that they did, because it's opened the doors for me for tens of thousands of people like me who love to do this as their passion, as their work. And some people do it just as a hobby, which is great too. You know, like it's, you can literally go as big and as far as you want based on your interests. So that's the story I tell when people have issues about the MLM thing. There are some funny videos out there. But anyways, I usually just go to what are your concerns? What's been your experience? And then share about the founding of doTERRA. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for being here today. It's been a rich conversation and so fun to visit the land of vision with you. Whatever you feel like your vision is, could it be a little bigger? Could you expand it even further to serve more people, to create more of a movement? Like your vision is what leads your movement. It's what leads your life. So is it worthwhile to invest in your vision? Is it worthwhile to expand your view of the world and what's possible all day, every day? It's a worthy project, right? Vision casting. So thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for your kind words. I know the time has flown today. We are excited for all the conventions events. Again, the link to get registered is sharesuccess.com/convention. So have a blessed day, blessed week, and we'll see you next week.